I'd bet the house on Ilya. His grappling, offensively, it's very good. If like you shoot it on this guy's legs and you make a mistake and you're the one going for the takedown, he has a very good chance that he might put you.
I believe he's capable of beating Islam. Just what I've seen, and personally too, just like hand speed and the tricks and the way he plays with his striking game. I believe he's definitely capable of catching Islam. And if he catches anybody, I believe he can knock them out.
If he beat me, he's gonna be on the same level as Islam. He gotta beat like someone like me, you know, who can wrestle. He just had the easy fights on his career, you know. He beat legit fighters, but not on their prime. If he met Volkanovski 4 years ago, Volkanovski just eat him.
MMA experts have given their final thoughts on the possible fight between Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. Arnold Allen said he would like to see Islam Makhachev fight Ilia Topuria, but he can see why Islam might not want to because he wants to fight tough opponents and build a bigger reputation after fighting opponents at the last minute. He said that using violence against Ilia would be a big deal for Islam.
I'd like to see him fight Islam. I'd like to see him fight Islam, but I mean, I understand why Islam wouldn't want it, right? He wants to fight legit contenders, and he's had like featherweights, ex-featherweights, late notice guys, replacements. He wants to sort of solidify his title reign, but probably is no bigger fight than Ilia, right? If he goes and batters Ilia, looks pretty.
Allen said that he has been wrong in the past when he didn't believe in a fighter, so he won't completely rule out Ilia. Allen is still sure that Islam will win, even though it won't be easy.
No, every time I've ruled him out, he proves me wrong, so I'm not going to do it again. Yeah, like I say, I think Islam wins and he gets ironed out. So, but yeah.
Michael Bisping said that Khabib Nurmagomedov might not want Islam Makhachev to fight Ilia Topuria because of bad press for smaller opponents. Still, he thinks Ilia is the greatest option. He thinks that Islam should fight the winner of the fight between Jack Della Maddalena and Belal Muhammad if that doesn't happen. But because of training experience, a ball fight is not likely. Bisping thinks that Islam should step up and fight if Jack wins.
Khabib Nurmagomedov doesn't want Islam to fight Ilia. The narrative is like, oh, he's beating up smaller guys. I think the fight to make is Ilia Topuria. If that doesn't happen, Islam sticks to his guns. If he was to say, no, I want to fight the winner of Jack Della Maddalena versus Belal Muhammad, because he is such a great champion, because he has taken short notice fights, because he's the most successful lightweight on planet Earth in the history of the sport, there ain't going to be any crazy talks of stripping Islam Makhachev. That just isn't going to happen. I don't think Islam's scared of anybody. He wants to move up to 170 though, take on the winner of Belal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena. Maybe that's what he's waiting for. Of course, if it is Belal, he ain't going to fight Belal Muhammad. They've been training partners before. Khabib Nurmagomedov has been very strict, so they aren't going to fight. But if it's Jack Della Maddalena, then 100% Islam Makhachev has earned the right to move up to 170 pounds.
Arman Tsarukyan thinks Ilia Topuria has to face a strong wrestler like him to prove he belongs at Islam Makhachev's level. He stated Ilia's past opponents were not in their peak and that a younger Volkanovski could have easily defeated him.
If he beat me, he's gonna be on the same level as Islam. He gotta beat like someone like me, you know, who can wrestle. He just had the easy fights on his career, you know. He beat legit fighters, but not on their prime. If he met Volkanovski 4 years ago, Volkanovski just eat him.
According to Jan Bokicevic, the battle would be interesting to see, but he thinks Islam Makhachev is in his peak and unbeatable. He also stated that he expects Islam to stay dominant for a few more years.
But it's gonna be a very good fight for watch. So, but I think Islam is like, you know, right now he got his, you know, prime time, and nobody will stop him a couple more years, I think.
Meanwhile, Belal Muhammad chastised Ilia Topuria for wanting a title chance at lightweight without first establishing himself in the class. He suggested that Ilia face names like Arman Tsarukyan, Justin Gaethje, or perhaps Paddy Pimblett first. Belal warned that if Ilia jumps the line and loses, Islam's win will be overshadowed. as it was when he defeated the tiny Alexander Volkanovski.
He needs to earn it. I think he needs to fight either Oliveira or Justin or even Patty right now to show the fans that, all right, he is a lightweight. Because you're going to look at it and then you're going to see how much bigger Islam than is him. And then there are people are going to say the same thing that what happened when Islam beat Volkanovski. Oh, well, you just beat a 45er. That's all you did. He's smaller. Look at his title reign. It was a 45er, another 45er, but Volkanovski at the time was #1 pound.
Michael Chandler also addressed the battle, highlighting the size difference between the two, with Islam being the larger lightweight. He lauded Islam's grappling, but gave Topuria an edge in striking. Chandler added that if Ilya can stay on his feet, he has a chance. However, Islam's experience and well-rounded skill set make him the expected frontrunner.
If Islam fights Ilya, I think there's definitely a size difference. I think Ilya is a lot smaller than Islam. Islam is a big lightweight, a tall lightweight, and he's good in every area. However, Ilya's definitely got the edge in the striking department, and Ilya is very, very, very patient. Now, if he's able to not get taken down and he's able to just patiently break down Islam with those big shots that he lands, the big punches that he lands, it's going to be a good night for Ilya. But I think if Islam gets his hands on him and gets him taken down, grappling with 145-pounders is a lot different than grappling with Islam, who is one of the best grapplers that we've seen in a very long time. He's strong. He's great at doing damage and getting good positions. I'd have to give the edge to Islam just by size, by strength of schedule thus far, and defending the belt, but I wouldn't count Ilya.
Matush Gamrot called the match, but questioned Topuria's prospects due to size differences. He stated that competing with someone like Islam takes similar power and physicality, something Topuria may trouble with. Gamrot thinks Islam's overall influence may be too strong for the smaller rival.
For me, interesting fight, but I don't know. Topuria is small guy. Islam is really big guy, and I don't think that Topuria has changed against him. If you wanna fight with Islam, you have to be like big guy, like similar like him, because he's good everywhere. But if your body is smaller than him, so you don't have change for sure.
Jorge Masvidal expressed significant faith in Ilia Topuria's grappling skills, claiming he would bet everything on him. He stressed Ilia's aggressive style and good takedown defense, pointing out that any mistake by an opponent may quickly turn into a disadvantage, with Ilya reversing the position and gaining control.
Bet the house on Ilya. His grappling offensively, it's very good. If you shoot in on this guy's legs and you make a mistake and you're the one going for the takedown, he has a very good chance that he might put you.
Bo Nickel thinks Islam Makhachev is the best pound-for-pound fighter right now, but he views Ilia Topuria as a legitimate threat. He mentioned Volkanovski's wrestling performance in their first bout, suggesting that Topuria may have the tools to match Islam's grappling and test his all-around game.
He's the pound-for-pound #1 right now, and I think he can win. And what makes me think that Ilya will do really well against Islam is that Volk's first fight with Islam, I'm like, man, Ilya's wrestling is way better than Volk's. And obviously, you could see how the striking.
Jamahal Hill had a great confidence in Ilia Topuria's chances against Islam Makhachev, emphasizing Ilya's speed, creative striking, and knockout power. He stressed that if Ilya landed cleanly, he can beat anyone, including fighters from heavier categories.
I believe he's capable of beating Islam. Just what I've seen, and personally too, just like hand speed and the tricks and the way he plays with his striking game. I believe he's definitely capable of catching Islam. And if he catches anybody, I believe he can knock them out. I believe his power might even carry. Not saying that his size and things like that, he can move up to those higher weight classes, but if he catches it, the way he hits it, if somebody even in the bigger weight class get like that, he can put them on wobble street.
Colby Covington thinks Ilia Topuria possesses the ability to upset Islam Makhachev. He cited Islam's tight fight with Volkanovski, which many thought Volkanovski won, as evidence that Makhachev is not unstoppable. Covington also mentioned that Islam did not look dominating in his last bout against Dustin Poirier, which makes this meeting even more fascinating.
I don't know. I think Topuria might upset him. I think he has the ability to upset him. That first Makhachev-Volkanovski fight was really close. A lot of people thought that Volkanovski won that fight. So, I think the blueprint is out there for Makhachev. And I didn't think he looked that good in the last fight versus Dustin. He looked beatable. He didn't look like invincible. So, You know, I think that'll be an interesting fight. Who do you got in that one?
He noted that the issue will be whether Islam can hold Topuria on the ground or whether Topuria can slide out and stay upright, as Topuria has previously been taken down. Covington is curious how he will handle Makhachev's wrestling pressure.
Yeah, I think that'll be the key to the fight. Can Makhachev get him to the ground, or is Topuria slippery enough to get away? Because he did get taken down in a couple of his fights.
Javier Mendez believes that a bout between Islam Makhachev and Justin Gaethje would go differently, since Islam has a more diverse skill set, especially in striking. Mendez highlighted Islam's ability to mix hitting and submissions, making him a dynamic fighter.
It definitely, in my opinion, would play out differently because they're not the same fighter. They're not the same fighter. Islam is more well-rounded than Khabib ever was, you know. So Islam is at the point where he's pound for pound number one because he's well-rounded in all the areas. Khabib was not as well-rounded as Islam is in the striking. Khabib, his attributes was the ground and the submission and how he can smother you and just, you know, make you feel like you're trapped and you can never get out. Islam doesn't have that type of game. He's got a different type of game. His game is incredible. It's submission level, base more than anything. And as you've seen it with all his submissions, you know, it's different. It's different. They're not the same fight at all. It's entirely different.
He also stated that Islam is capable of exchanging punches when necessary, as well as taking opponents down, showing his adaptability. In the cage, while Islam possesses good wrestling, Mendez pointed out that MMA wrestling is a unique skill, making Islam an even more dangerous opponent for Gaethje.
Islam, he can do it all. He can stand with him, he can take him down, he can do anything, you know, and you know, before anybody starts thinking about, well, you know, he's the Division I wrestler, this and that, but hey, he was a Division I wrestler that was wrestling with Jordan Burroughs, and that didn't help him with Khabib. So trust me, when you're talking MMA, there's a difference between just wrestling and MMA wrestling. Khabib was the master, second to none in MMA wrestling. And Islam, I'm going to say, is a close second. But they're different. But he's a close second when it comes to MMA wrestling.
Chase Hooper was really impressed by Islam Makhachev's recent performance, especially his striking. He stressed that, unlike Khabib, who was known mostly for his grappling, Islam and other emerging Dagestani fighters, such as Omar, are far more versatile. Hooper recognized that they are challenging opponents for everyone else in the division, but he is sure that Islam will win his matches.
Honestly, I was really impressed. Islam's last time out, I felt like his striking was really improving. So I think that's, like, especially when you look back at, like, Khabib's fights, like, he's much more of a pure grappler. And then you see Islam and you see Umar and these newer generation Dagestani guys. I think they're a lot more well-rounded, which sucks for everybody else in the division, but I don't know. I think Islam still takes.
Demetrius Johnson described the battle by emphasizing Islam Makhachev's southpaw stance and expecting that he will use body kicks, mobility, and feints to control space. He uses judo to take the battle to the ground and try to submit.
What do you reckon he'll do? What do you reckon Islam, like, if you're Islam, do you just go in, try to figure out a way to get that, you know, get to the ground or get him up against the fence?
Well, Islam's a southpaw, so he's gonna probably throw body kicks to keep his arms busy, keep a distance, move, feint, maybe use some judo to take him down and try to get him to the ground and try to submit him. But, you know, once again, like, I have to see, you know, I have to see what Islam does to JD.
Johnson mentioned that Ilia Topuria is most deadly after he establishes his range. Ilia will find a way to get there, regardless of how long it takes, according to Johnson. The most important question is whether Islam can avoid or choose to participate in that risk zone.
I know the one thing that's the factor is that Ilia is always going to focus on getting to the right spot and find his opponents. When he gets there, he's going to unload. If Ilia can't get there, then he's going to figure another way to get there. So the question is, how does everybody avoid that sweet spot against Ilia? That's the question, because Ilia is going to fight in a 25-minute fight. That's what it comes down to. And then you go from, like, hey, how does Islam keep Ilia away from that spot? Or does Islam meet him there? Right? There's so much, you know, that goes into it, and my brain is all over the place. So for me to give, like, a clear-cut answer, I just, you know, I'm just like, I'm running around in circles.
Beneil Dariush claimed he likes Islam, Makhachev in a bout versus Ilia Topuria because of his stature, distance control, and effective usage of kicks and takedowns. He thinks that style will cause Ilia issues. However, he said that he wouldn't be astonished if Ilia got a knockout.
It would still go the same. I think, Islam has such a big size advantage, and if he, distance kicks, takedown, rinse and repeat, if he continues to mix those things up, I think it would be a difficult fight for Ilia. But, from what I saw, it wouldn't surprise me if he was able to put Makhachev's lights out too.
Corey Sandhagen, on the other hand, expected Ilia to win. He claimed Ilia's size would make takedowns tough for Islam in a fierce fight. Ilia is far more dangerous. Sandhagen also commended Ilia's defense, adding he doesn't think Islam can cause any harm.
I honestly think Ilia would win that fight.
Let me get your breakdown of that fight.
I'm gonna actually go against, I think, what most people say, and I honestly think Ilia would win that fight. I think his stature is gonna be hard to take down for Islam, and I think if those two are standing, I just think that Ilia is a way dangerous guy standing, and I just can't really see Islam hurting him because his guard is real good, and I think Ilia will win.
Arman Tsarukyan claimed that if Islam Makhachev had fought Ilia Topuria at UFC 317, the fight would have resulted in a knockout. He thinks that Islam is on a higher level, but his main goal is to outperform everyone, including Islam, and become the world's best fighter.
What do you think would have happened if Ilia fought Islam this weekend?
Islam Makhachev.
He would have beaten him?
By TKO.
Oh, wow. Really?
I mean, that's a different level of fighters.
You think so? Wow.
You can't compare Ilia versus Islam.
Really? I have Ilia number 1 pound for pound now.
Yes, because Islam not champion anymore right now.
Right.
But when he get the second title, he's gonna be pound for pound number 1.
So you think he beats Jack?
He beats Jack.
Yeah.
Became a pound for pound number 1. I'll be pound for pound number 2 champion lightweight division, and then beat Islam and became a pound for pound number 1.
Wow, I love it. You have it all.
Joe Rogan expressed support for Ilia Topuria receiving a lightweight title opportunity, saying he has certainly earned it. He cited Topuria's knockout victories over great fighters like Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski as evidence that he earned the shot. Rogan thinks Ilia has shown himself and is ready to compete at 155.
You have a world champion versus a world champion. If anybody deserves a fight for the world title in the next weight class, it's you. It's simple. It's simple. You knocked out Max Holloway. I mean, it's simple. You knocked out Alexander Volkanovski, one of the greatest of all time. It's simple. That's a no-brainer. That's the fight. He doesn't want to fight 45 anymore. He wants to fight 55. World title.
Eddie Cha praised Ilia Topuria's potential, citing his sharp striking, distance control, and good grappling skills from his time in Brave, while Cha was thrilled by Ilia's rapid growth. He was worried about the size difference and how he would handle grappling with a larger opponent. In the end, he supports Islam Makhachev in the match.
People probably think I'm crazy, but I think Ilia can get it done.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch right now. His distance game. I mean, if you've seen him when he was 6 or 7-0 at Brave before the UFC, he would just take guys down and just grapple. I think that was his biggest strength. That's why I'm so impressed with that guy, because for him to be as good in striking in a short amount of time, understanding the game and how he runs his offense, it's phenomenal. So the size factor is my biggest concern, and I think the grappling, we'll see what happens, but I like Ilia.
That's all for today's show. So, what are your thoughts about this? What are your thoughts on their possible matchup? Share your ideas in the comments box, and if you liked the video, please subscribe and like it.